concept of Vernier scale, we should know about few elements like whenever it is a scale, the number of divisions are more, then depending upon how many factors we are considering, the scales are divided into two categories. If n is considered as a product of n1 and n2, it consists of only primary divisions and secondary divisions, then it is considered as a plain scale. Now if the least count is much lower, then n value will be increased, then we are going to consider n1 into n2 into n3. In this situation, we are going to use either diagonal scale or Vernier scale. So here, what is the difference between diagonal scale and Vernier scale? Because for diagonal and Vernier, for both the cases, the least count will be the same, means the accuracy means our minimum digit which we are going to measure, we will get it as a same. But where the difference will come for Vernier to the diagonal. So for that, let us consider one particular example. So if it is a MKS system and FPS system, both the cases we are going to consider. For example, if maximum length to be measurable with the scale is 6 decameters, let us consider. Then what will happen in MKS system? We know that it will start with mm, next it is a centimeter, next decimeter, small dm, meter, decameter, hectometer, kilometer. So here the maximum length is given as 6 decameter. So it is going to be lies here. So this 6 decameter is the maximum length. Therefore lower than that will become primary unit. Lower to that will become diagonal unit. Lower than that will become, meter will become secondary unit. Decimeter will become diagonal unit, or it is also considered as Vernier unit. If it is a diagonal scale, it is considered as a diagonal unit. If it is a Vernier scale, it is considered as Vernier unit. So in this particular situation, N1 is equal to maximum length by primary unit, that is equal to 6 meters by 1 meter is equal to 6. N2 is equal to primary unit divided by secondary unit. Primary unit is decameter, secondary unit is meter. Therefore 1 decameter is equal to 10 meters divided by meter, we will get it as 10. So here N3 is equal to secondary unit divided by, I am considering a diagonal scale, therefore diagonal unit, that is secondary unit is meter, diagonal unit is decimeter. Therefore 1 meter is equal to 10 decimeters divided by 10 decimeter, we will get it as a 10. This is about diagonal scale is considered, because before moving on to the Vernier scale, we should know this particular information. Now let us consider FPS system. We will start with inch, then foot, yard, chain, furlong, mile. Now let us consider in the problem maximum length is given as some particular 5 yards. Then what will happen in this case? So it will lies here 5 yards. This is your maximum length. Therefore lower than that will become primary unit. This is going to be secondary unit. Inch is going to be diagonal unit if it is a diagonal scale. If it is a Vernier scale, it will become Vernier unit. Now here in this particular one, same calculation I am going to do because you are already aware of it. N1 is equal to maximum length by primary unit. 5 ads divided by 1 ad is equal to 5. N2 is equal to primary unit divided by secondary unit. Primary unit is ad, secondary unit is foot. 1 ad is equal to 3 feet divided by 1 feet is equal to 3. N3 is equal to secondary unit divided by diagonal unit. Therefore, here we are going to consider secondary unit as foot divided by inch. Therefore, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches divided by 1 inch is going to get it as 12. So, here N1, N2, N3, if you observe in both the cases, in this particular case, N2 is equal to N3. Whereas, in case of FES system, N2 is not equal to N3. Then also diagonal scale we can able to do it. Because the diagonal, vertical one, we are going to divide it into 12 parts here. And secondary subscale, we are going to divide it into 3 equal parts. Whereas in MKS system, secondary is divided into 10 parts, diagonal is also divided into 10 parts. So there is no restriction on N2 and N3 in case of diagonal scale. But the most important point in which we have to remember in case of Vernier scale is, in case of Vernier scale, what is the most important point we have to consider in case of Vernier scale? Most important element is here secondary division should be equal to, that is Vernier divisions N3. N2 is equal to N3 in case of Vernier scale, and we will consider it as N. We will consider it as N. So with this case, how the Vernier scale principle will depends, that we will learn now. Now here if you observe from this equation, we know that N3 is equal to secondary unit divided by Vernier unit in case of Vernier scale. So from these, what is N3? That is secondary unit divided by Vernier unit. So I need to get how much is the Vernier unit. So here Vernier unit, in order to get it, we have to get secondary unit divided by N3. But whereas in Vernier scale, it is equal to N, secondary unit by N. If you get it, you can able to get Vernier unit. Good. Sir, what is the basic principle involved in it? That we will learn. So we are already familiar with plane scale. So in the plane scale, what will happen? This is the length of the scale. And here two types of principles are there. Both we will consider simultaneously. So these are called primary divisions. So in this problem, I was considered 4 primary units are there. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now here, let us consider the secondary divisions are some number. So here I am not taking exact, some random number I am taking it here. Some, don't remember I made 5 units, it has to be 5. Don't like that. So here, what we have to consider, this is going to be primary unit, this is secondary unit, this is primary unit, this is secondary unit. Now from here to here it is main scale length, and here from here to here or here to here is secondary scale length. So how we can able to know what is the secondary scale length here? Secondary scale length, SCL is secondary scale length. In this case, how much it is? Let us consider these divisions are N. N into each division is 1 secondary unit. So here also secondary scale length is equal to N into secondary unit. Here I am not giving any value. So here I am considering N. So here each unit is each one division is 1 secondary unit. Here N divisions you make, therefore N secondary units are there. So what is the Vernier scale principle. Here, this is a secondary scale, but what is a vernier scale? So there are two types of vernier scales are there. In one case, vernier scale length will be considered as, in one scale, vernier scale length will be considered as n plus 1 SU, because we are going to consider 1 unit more. So your 1 unit length we will take it here and we will cut the arc here. So this particular thing is considered as a vernier scale. In this case, it is going to be n plus 1 length of secondary units. How much length we are consider? N plus units of secondary units length we are going to consider. This is the vernier scale in one case. In another case, we are going to consider n minus 1. So here we are going to consider vernier scale length in the secondary case is n minus 1 times of secondary unit. Now what we are going to do, this vernier scale, how many divisions we have to make, whether it is first case or second case. In both the cases, we have to divide vernier scale. So secondary divisions n2 is n, vernier divisions n3 is also equal to n. So on that time what will happen? We are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So here I made 4. Not a problem. If another case, n it is. So according to here, I am going to divide like this. We are going to get like this. Now here, how many parts we made? Each unit, each vernier scale unit, one vernier division, how much it is. So we have to divide with n. So each unit in vernier scale. How we are going to get? By dividing this one with n. So therefore each unit is going to be, how much it is? VSL, vernier scale length divided by n. Here also the same as vernier scale length divided by n. How much value we are going to get? Vernier scale length is n plus 1 into secondary unit divided by n. Here it is n minus 1 into secondary unit divided by n. So here we can able to write it as n into secondary unit plus secondary unit. I am going to divide both the cases with n. So n into secondary unit divided by n minus secondary unit divided by n. So n will get cancelled. Secondary unit plus, so here if you observe, secondary unit divided by vernier unit is secondary unit divided by n3, or n is equal to vernier unit. So whereas in this case secondary unit minus vernier unit. So if you observe, in this I got vernier unit, but it is not getting directly as vernier unit. It is a combination with secondary unit. That is the difference we can able to observe in this particular vernier scale. So here you make one case n plus 1 into secondary unit and another case n minus 1 into secondary unit you are considered. So what is the difference between these two? Is there any particular name is present for these two? We should be aware of it. So wherever you are consider n plus 1 into secondary unit, then it is considered as, it can be considered as backward vernier. So even if you observe this particular division, if you start from 0, it is moving backside to the main scale. That's why backward vernier. Sir, what about this? For the main scale, it is not backside, it is forward. So it is also called forward vernier. Now, so another one. So if you observe in this, what is the another name of backward vernier? Is there any other name is there for forward vernier? We should know now. So backward vernier is also termed as retrograde vernier. Forward vernier is also called direct vernier. So once if it is retrograde vernier is also called backward vernier. Forward vernier is also called direct vernier. Normally you are come across with vernier calipers in physics experiments. So they whatever the vernier calipers that you are using, they are using the forward vernier principle. That's why it is called direct vernier. Most of the vernier calipers are using forward vernier principle. That's why it is considered as a direct vernier. So now how to draw the vernier scale and how to measure the distances, those two are most important. Those we will discuss in the next video.